Hey guys, are you ready to level up in the new year? Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Are you ready to reinvent yourself? Are you ready to become that person? Finally become that person that will magnetize and bring into your life the life that you truly want, the life that you truly deserve, because now is the time. It's happening. It's in the air. Have you been seeing these videos pop up lately? It's because it's happening. Everybody's ready. Everybody is tired of the BS. There's so much BS going around. People have sort of explored all the different dopaministic urges that we can have as humans, right? Dopaminergic. What is the word? I'm going to put it right here. But we are going to take our lives to the next level, whether it's 2025, whenever you're watching this, 2026, 2027, maybe it's like 30, 48. I don't know. Maybe the singularity is already happening and you're watching this and it's like plugged into your brain, Matrix style or something. But we are going to take our lives to the next level with these three simple hacks. What is the first one? The first thing that we want to focus on is get present. We want to get present with reality. We want to get ourselves here in the now. We want to perceive what's going on around us. A lot of times what happens is we get lost in our head, right? We're just like in this sort of like morass, this labyrinth of neuroses, just thinking, oh, am I good enough? Or what do they think about me? Or, oh, what am I going to do with my life? Maybe I'm not meant to be able to have this or do that. And you just have to kind of like take a deep breath, man. Just take some breaths and get in the moment and realize that in this moment is where you can grow. In this moment is where you can change. In this moment is where you can really start to foster an identity, a character, the characteristics, the personality traits that you need in order to really live life the way that you want to live it, to really access the parts of life that you know are out there. You see other people doing it, and yet it's not necessarily coming to you. So what we're going to do first is we're going to just get present. We're going to get present. We're going to realize that we're here, okay? And that's a gift. The fact that we're just here. We are here on this earth, okay? So let's practice a little bit of gratitude. That's going to really help you be present, because a lot of times I think the reason we're not present is because we're afraid to be present. We don't want to be present. We feel like being present is painful and we want to escape, right? So we play our video games, we watch endless TV shows, we get into toxic relationships, we do all these things. We chase our desires and biological urges, and it's just, we find that it's sort of like this endless maze. That's why I feel like it's in the air now. Change is in the air. People want something real, right? And so we really want to find the why of being present. And why do we want to be present? Because we can live an authentic life. We can live a real life, a life of meaning and purpose that resonates with us. It doesn't have to be what society wants us to believe in. It doesn't have to be what any organization tells us we should believe in. Just us. Us. What do we want? And maybe that's a good question to start with for you is, what do I want? What do I want out of life? What is it about life that I want to engage more in with and be more present with? Because if you find aspects of life, look for clues. Maybe at first you're just sort of like in a completely grayed out reality where you just don't feel like engaging with anything. And I can understand, I've been there, you know. Maybe you got out of a relationship, the person dumped you, or something in your business or career didn't go the way that you wanted it to. and you just kind of are like in this sort of like purgatory of depression. And that's serious. That's something that, you may need to, if it's super deep, you might need to see a therapist. Don't just necessarily watch YouTube videos for that. But what we want to do is we want to start thinking about even just becoming present might be what will be the catalyst for you seeing a therapist, finding a coach, finding somebody that can help you, getting around people that have gone through similar things, finding a community. So getting present is a chance for us to really, really vibe with where we're at now, what's going on in reality around us, and how much of that is being influenced by our thoughts. Because a lot of times our thoughts are constantly commenting on reality and giving its 2 cents on reality. And so everything has like this filter on it, right? Like you see these people on Instagram that put the filter on to make themselves look better. And it's like the fake lipstick and rosy cheeks or whatever. Something just looks off about it. It's like really weird, right? But we do that with our thoughts all the time. We're constantly warping reality. We're constantly criticizing and judging and trying to find a deeper meaning, but sometimes we're projecting our own issues on everything outside of us. It's like when you look at one of those ink blot tests and you see like various things, and that tells the therapist what's going on in your head, because what you're seeing is basically what's going on in your head. Like when you look at a cloud, or maybe you look at wood grain and you see certain things, faces or whatever. Well, that's what's going on in your head. So what we need to do is we need to get present. That's the first thing. So how do we get present? I alluded to this before. We want to just slow down a little bit, okay? So take a few deep breaths with me. Let's just do like 5 breaths. And as you breathe out, you want to just kind of relax a little bit. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're relaxing the body. Breathe in. Kind of notice what am I looking at? What are you seeing with your eyes? What are you feeling with your skin? What are you smelling? What are you noticing? Breathe out, letting go of that stress. Breathe in. Really just getting present. Get a sense of who you are, just your own energy. Where's your energy at right now? And breathe out. Breathe in one more time. Breathe out. And just see how do you feel right now? Do you feel a little bit more present? Do you feel a little bit more aware of your surroundings? Do you feel a little bit more aware of their sensorial information? Getting in touch with our senses is a great way to get present. Like, what am I seeing right now? A lot of times we'll walk through the day and we're not looking at anything. I mean, even if we're not buried in our phones, which most people are these days, right? Even if we're not looking at our phone, we tend to just kind of not notice things. So I want to invite you to start noticing things, because what is this going to do? This is going to break us out of our routine. It's going to break us out of what I call the automatic automaton. What is the automatic automaton? The automatic automaton is the collection, the matrix of habits, patterns, routines that we do every single day. Now, some of these are good, but some of them are it's just what we are used to doing. And we get stuck. And in that stuckness, we can't rebirth ourselves. We can't reinvent ourselves because we're so stuck in this automatic automaton. And I do things the same way every single day. Yes, I do. That kind of, it's like you don't even realize you're in a prison of your own habits, right? Now, some people are addicted to smoking, drinking, doing drugs, things like that. And they realize, okay, these are habits, but there's many subtle habits, like I put on my shoes the same way every day, or I always drive the same way to work. Things like that that aren't necessarily bad, but what we want to do is we want to shake things up a little bit. Why? Because we want to reinvent ourselves. But in order to reinvent yourself, you have to create new habits. You have to create new habits. And the best way to start getting that process happening is waking up, realizing, wait, what are my habits? And then changing them up on purpose. Because what is that going to do? That's going to create that presence. You're going to be present in the moment. You have to be present. And that's going to lead to the second thing I'm talking about, which is self-awareness. Self-awareness, awareness of the self, which is related to presence, right? When we're present, we're here. We're in the here and now. And then self-awareness, we start thinking, okay, wait. Who am I? What are my motivations for life, for relationships? What is it that I really want out of life? Like, how am I relating to the world? How am I relating to myself, to my subconscious, to a higher power? How am I doing this? And how can I start to tweak some dials here and there? Maybe I can turn down the depression a little bit. Maybe I can turn up the joy, the gratitude, the love. Maybe I can start focusing on my heart and my brain and getting those in sync, finding that heart-brain coherence, as Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's great. Do meditations every single day. And meditation is the number one thing you can do for presence, for self-awareness. Because what happens, you start to, when you meditate and you go into those deeper states, you start to really see your thoughts. And you start to realize, wait, like I'm constantly thinking about stuff. And you start to become the observer. And when you're the observer, you can stop from getting sucked in to all those thoughts and feelings and emotions and just kind of like, getting sucked into the chaos of life. You can start to, instead of being an extra in the reality of life, you can start to become a director. You can start to become a creator. And that leads to the third thing that I want to talk about. Get creative. You want to be a creative being, because the only way you're going to design a life that you really want is if you're creative. Think about it. How could you ever create a life if you're not creative? You've got to be creative. This is something I don't hear as much talked about, and I hope that this is something that I can really contribute to the discussion about reinventing yourself. I want you to start thinking of your life as your own masterpiece. I want you to start thinking of your life as an art. Your life, as you start to become more present, you start looking around, you get more of a sense of being in your body, you become more self-aware, where you're really starting to think, okay, what is going on in my brain and why? What am I being run by? Am I in a trauma response? Am I lucid? Lucid dreams are a great thing to learn about, and I'll do a video more about that in the future. And then once we really start getting self-aware and aware of our tendencies, aware of our habits, we start implementing new and better habits, and even just different habits, just for the sake. So we drive to work a slightly different route, or we say something different to someone. Instead of, hey, how you doing today? Maybe we say, beautiful day today, isn't it? Or something different, just to get out of that automatic automaton, to get out of that habitual prison, that habitual purgatory that we find ourselves in. We get out of that. We loosen up so that we can slide into different realities. We can create new realities. And then how do we get more creative? we want to start thinking in terms of imagination. How can I use my imagination? Now, a lot of people, when they're younger, they're told, stop daydreaming, don't dream too big. I want you to start dreaming big. I want you to start dreaming huge. What is the life that you want? Maybe you start with material things. Maybe I want a certain car. Put a picture of that car on your screensaver, on your phone. I want every time you open the phone, look at that car and believe that you could actually get it. Belief is a big part of this. You want to believe. You want to create what I call the bridge of belief between where you are now and where you want to go. And we're going to work with the future, okay? Now, we can create our own future by using our imagination and believing that it's possible. Because if you don't believe it's possible, it's never really going to happen. It's never going to land. You're never going to finish the projects. You're never going to do what you know that you need to do. You have to believe that it's possible. And you have to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. So, for example, we want to reinvent ourselves for 2025. You want to really walk into 2025 as a new person, a person with higher self-esteem, with higher perceived value, with higher self-worth, with more joy, more love, more gratitude, more happiness. Well, we've got to believe that it's possible, and we need to start visualizing it. And that's where the creativity really comes into play. We're playing a character that will become real. It's like method acting. Method acting, if you don't know about that, that's a form of acting where the actors, they really start to believe that they are the character. They bring certain aspects of their own life, their own memories, and they enhance them, they magnify them until they become that character. But see, this is so much more important than being a character in a movie. This is your life. This is your masterpiece. So you need to create the character that is the real you. That's the thing. We all think that we're the real us right now, but we're not. We're holding back. We're holding back. Stop holding back. Pull off the mask. Pull off the wig, all the fakeness, and let's become the real us. Let's become the real us. So we're pulling off layers. We're getting deeper into who we are. And a big part of that is getting conscious. We're self-aware. We're present. We're being creative. We're creating that being that we know that we are. And we are establishing that from the mind frame of a leader. I am a leader. I am a leader. You have to start thinking of yourself as a leader, because our tendency as humans, as social creatures, is we want to kind of like be a part of the herd. You know, we want to get along with everybody, and these have great benefits. They allow us to build civilizations and basically made us like the apex species or whatever of the planet. But unfortunately, if you are just a follower all the time, you're never going to really have that freedom. You're never going to really have that fulfillment out of life. That I know that if you're watching this video and you've gotten this far, then you are a leader. You want to at least become a leader. It's inside of you. So I want to ask you to call that part of yourself out. Become a leader. Start visualizing and visioning what it is that you want out of life. Write your dreams down. Write your dreams down every morning. You want to write your dreams down, because that's where we're visioning. While we're asleep, while our bodies are resting and healing, we're also visioning. But a lot of times we're not putting in the right data, okay, before we go to sleep. So before you go to sleep, I want you to start asking yourself, what is it that I want out of life? What is the vision for my life? And I want you to start remembering your dreams, writing them down. It's going to help you remember them. I want you to start journaling. I want you to become self-aware. Journaling is going to help you in your self-awareness journey. You know, we're journaling the journey, right? And then in terms of being present, The next time you have a conversation with someone, I want you to just be a little more, see if you can make yourself 10% more present to what they're saying. Maybe don't think about what you're going to say next when you're talking to them. Just listen. See if you can become a better listener. Be more present. See if you can feel that person's energy. See if you can feel your own energy and how that intermingles with that person as you're communicating with them. And then we can experiment with the leadership. Maybe instead of just agreeing with everything this person says, maybe we can stop being the people pleaser, right? That's something that I've dealt with my whole life, just wanting to be a people pleaser. I'm experimenting a lot in the last couple years of just, you know what? This is me. This is what I believe in. This is what really brings me fulfillment, and setting boundaries. You might have to set some boundaries. You might have to set some boundaries because you might find, as I found, that when you start to level up, some of your friends, maybe like your intimate partners, they're just acting weird, or maybe they'll just straight up just not be attracted to you anymore, leave you. I've experienced this. And that's just something that I think comes with the territory. If you want to level up, sometimes the person you're with is not ready to do it, or not in that way. Maybe they want to level up in a different way. Maybe y'all just are diverging, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The more okay you can be with it, the easier it'll be for you to design the next life. And maybe there's another relationship that is more suitable for where you're going or where you're at as you're going there, and you can go there together. That's the goal, right, with a relationship. I'm currently single, divorced twice. I've got 2 beautiful kids from the second marriage, and I'm just enjoying that, man. I'm hanging out with my kids. I'm not really dating that much. I'm just really getting in touch with who I am and what I want out of life. I'm a little bit older now. I'm 49. So I'm kind of at that stage in life where I'm just like, okay, I've been married a couple times. I've seen what that's like. It's cool. But now it's like, wow, like freedom. Freedom feels good. Freedom to just kind of do my own thing, not have to answer to anybody. It feels good. It feels really good. So wherever you're at in your life, you may be in a relationship that you want to grow with that person. You want to find what works with that person. So talk about these ideas together. Talk about how you can. I have nothing against marriage. I think marriage is great if you find the right person and if you're in the right place together, And there's a part of me that still envisions that for myself. So we'll see. But right now, I'm really enjoying being single, being a father, really working on my business. I just wrote a violin concerto that I performed back in February. So I was leveling up, and I still am leveling up. And it's amazing. Trust me, like leveling up is the best thing that you can do. And it doesn't have to be necessarily about accomplishments. It doesn't have to be about making more money. It doesn't have to be about finding a better relationship. Leveling up, I think, at the core is about really getting to know yourself and leveling up on the inside. And then all those other things will come to you to whatever degree that you want them to when you feel like those might be beneficial to you. But a lot of times we feel like we need things in order to level up. We need to prove that we've leveled up to other people. So we go for the big car, we go for the money, we go for the relationship to try to prove to people, oh, I'm a high status human, right? I'm high status, I'm high value. That's a term that we're hearing a lot online these days. High value, I'm a high value man. I'm a high value woman, whatever it is. It's like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? It's all in your head. It's all in your head. If you think that you're high value and you work on yourself inwardly, then you are high value. And just think about it. We're all high value. We are all high value. You just have to believe that. If you believe that you're high value, then you're high value. Who do you need to say otherwise? The whole world could say, no, you're not. But you are high value. You're a high value human. Just take that, believe that, embody that, and then let everything else flower from that. Let everything else grow from that. I am a high value person. I love myself unconditionally. Unconditionally. Even if people tell me that I'm low value in their actions and the way they look at me, I know that I'm important. I know that I'm special. I want you to really use like Inception to put that belief in your heart, in your brain. Know that your life matters. Your life matters. And all this self-exploration isn't to prove to the world anything. It's just for your own growth. It's your own self-experiment with this process we call life. Because it's a process that nobody really fully understands. You have to really experiment for yourself. I've had some really deep meditations where I've seen all these things, energy and all of this stuff, and it's helped me evolve as a person. So I encourage for you to keep reflecting and understanding. And I've had breakthroughs in my life, but there's always a challenge right around the corner. So no matter how evolved you may think that you are or find yourself to be, no matter how enlightened, there's always something, right? There's always something. And so I want to encourage you to find the energetic lubricant of just letting go, of being cool with yourself, being your own best friend, encouraging yourself from a place of unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. Look in the mirror every now and then and say, hey, you're doing great. You know, I love you. Like, I love that even though you maybe have been through some struggles, you're here, we're here. We're here, we're doing our thing. And I want to encourage you, if you have something that you're passionate about, see if you can really get in touch with that passion. Stop distracting yourself, because I think the biggest obstacle for us to level up in 2025 is distractions. We are in a distracted culture. We are in a distracted society. Constantly scrolling, constantly getting in and out of meaningless relationships, just dating superficially, you know, without looking for a real connection. Constantly just, we're watching endless TV shows and movies or playing video games. It's a distraction. We need to pull back, get present. You got to get rid of those bad habits. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them. Get rid of them for a week. See how you feel after a week. Just do it for a day if you're like super addicted. See if you can go a day. Get some professional help if you need to. But see if you can go a day, a week, a month without these bad habits that are holding you back, that are sapping your energy, that are filling you with the wrong kind of energy, too much dopamine, that are taking you off of the path of your highest fulfilled self, your best self, your most creative self. We need to start creating a masterpiece, because right now you're living inside of somebody else's masterpiece. If you're not where you want to be with your life, you're like an extra in somebody else's movie. If you're playing a video game all day long, that's a video game that someone else created. It's a fantasy world. And it might be alluring and beautiful and gorgeous, and the music is amazing, and you've got this great character, you've leveled up. But level up yourself. Level up yourself. It's so much more fulfilling. There's adventures out here in the real world. There's adventures you can go on. There's treasures that you can find in the real world. And I want to encourage you to make that happen. And I thank you for watching this. Have fun. I've got a course on School if you really want to dig even deeper into creating your own masterpiece. I have a course on there. I've got a great community of creative people that are leveling up their life. So I'll put that description in that link in the description. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. This is a new channel, and I really want to inspire people to be creative, to reinvent themselves, to love themselves, accept themselves, and then set themselves up for the greatest good in reality to magnetize to their lives. So have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the next video.